What's up guys, Noor here and welcome to Book of Showtime Chapter 56. As always, if you enjoy these videos, be sure to leave a like and share with your friends, and if you have a topic you'd like me to cover for Book of Showtime, be sure to leave it in the comment section down below, or anywhere you can reach me on social media or the Book of Showtime Discord. I just want to remind everybody that once we get to 30 members in said Discord, I'll be doing another giveaway, so be sure to share a link with your friends, be sure to join if you haven't, and let's, get to 30 so we can all win some nice prizes. So my brother Weaver likes to give me the barbershop questions, and while I mentioned in the past I don't like the throwback teams versus the modern teams debate, it's always going to be the modern team for me, I don't mind comparing players head to head. I figured that Weaver and a few other of my friends would give me some player matchups and I can make a video on it, and here we are with a pilot for a sub-series called This or That. Essentially, you guys give me a selection of choices, themed mind you, like today's theme is the NBA, and I'll just pick which entity I prefer. Let me know what you guys think about this concept, let me know if you want to see more videos like this, and let's just get right in. Beginning this chapter, James Harden or Dwayne Wade. Honestly, as much as I'm not a fan of his character and his lack of playoff success, I have to go with James Harden. He is head and shoulders a better scorer and shooter than Dwayne Wade. The only thing I say that Dwayne Wade has over Harden are rings, which I'm not going to hold against Harden too much, even if he did blow it against the Warriors in 2018. And Wade was a much better defender. Now, I think Dwayne Wade, if not for his knee issues, would have cemented his place as the third best shooting guard, but compared to Harden's pure raw offensive capabilities and Dwayne Wade's inconsistent three-point shooting at times, it's just too big a gap in the offensive department. Harden also won MVP back in 2018. It should have been LeBron, but that's neither here nor there. And Wade has not won an MVP. He did finish top 3 for the 08-09 season, but with LeBron and Kobe ahead of him, he really had no chance. So I'm just going to overall say that James Harden is the better player. Next up, Weaver says Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, say that 3 times fast, or Luka Doncic. This is an interesting one as the jury is still out on these players. Hear me out before you get mad, but these guys have only been in the league since 2018, whereas Harden has been hooping for about 15 years now, and Dwayne Wade is in the Hall of Fame. Now, Doncic has certainly had the better career. He's been great since he's come into the league. He's had 4 All-Star appearances, so I guess 5 now, 4 All-NBA nods, and Rookie of the Year back in 2019. SGA, he's only blossomed into the player he is in the last 2.5 seasons or so, with just 2 All-Star appearances and 1 All-NBA appearance. But the reason I say the jury is still out is because these guys are both young and we really don't know what the ceiling is, even so more in Shai's case. I think Luka is as close to as good as he'll ever be. He's not at his peak, but I just don't see many flaws in his game, and I also don't see how he can take a bigger leap forward. Maybe if he builds up his speed, which, can you guys imagine Luka being faster? He's already dangerous moving slow. Shai, on the other hand, he's only been getting better since breaking out with the Thunder, and I think he has a better chance at eventually getting MVP than Luka, especially this year, and even more so if the guys around him continue to elevate their game to match his. We've seen Luka carry the Mavs hard at times. He's never quite had the supporting cast that SGA has had, especially when you look at this young Thunder team with guys like Chet Holmgren, Lou Dort, Jalen Williams, all those guys backing them up. It clearly hasn't held SGA back. He's still playing like a star. He's still playing like an MVP. So it's a little hard to say, but as far as one-on-one basketball goes, at this point in time, I have to go with Luka. He's just had the better career to this point. But who knows, maybe 2 years from now, it's SGA. I really like both of these guys. They're going to be fun to watch. Next up, my friend Brian says Devin Booker or Jason Tatum. This was an interesting one to research, as I didn't know Booker was in the NBA as long as he debuted back in 2015. I thought it was 2017, same as Tatum, but no, it was 2015. He had a 2-year head start on Tatum, but Tatum has more All-Star game appearances and more All-NBA appearances than Booker. Now, both are ringless, both have no MVPs, and they probably won't win any MVPs. These are great players. They've both finished top 4 in MVP races, but to me, they just don't have that edge that puts them at the top. Not when you're comparing them to guys like Luka, SGA, Joker, Embiid, all those guys. I just think all those players clear. But I digress. This is about who's the better player. And just off the eye test and the stats, I'd have to say that Devin Booker is better. And I say that not really sold either way, but the tiebreaker for me between Devin Booker and Jason Tatum is what these guys did in the finals. And I think that Devin Booker in his 6 games against Milwaukee was better than Jason Tatum in his 6 games against Golden State. I know this is a weird way to pick which player is best, and they both lost those finals, but just off a small sample size, these guys have very similar career numbers. I think Booker is easily the better scorer. But at the end of the day, you know, performing well when the lights are brightest, that's a big deal to me. So I say Booker is the better player. Next up, Stanley says Kyrie Irving or Allen Iverson. This is another interesting matchup, as these are two of the most skilled guards to ever play the game, but where AI completely clears Kyrie is his MVP, his 4 scoring titles, and his ability to lead a team to the playoffs. People seem to overlook the fact that Kyrie Irving never finished over 500 before LeBron James came back to Cleveland. He's a talented player, has arguably the best handles of any guard ever, but he's not a leader. He's not capable of being the #1 option on a true contender. He's always going to be a beta dog. Even when you go back to when he was on the Celtics, yes, he might have been the biggest star, he might have been the best player, but he was also hurt most of his stint, and then he eventually left. You take Kyrie Irving off those Celtics teams, they're still fine. They're still fine. AI, he is the #1 guy on great teams. He's led a team to the finals, so that's where the delta lies for me. I think this one easily goes to Allen Iverson. And finally, my oldest brother says Dirk Nowitzki or Nikola Jokic. I hate to do this to Dirk because he's a fantastic player and also so ahead of his time with the skill set he had. He was like the prototype of what the modern big man should strive to be. Not to mention, he probably has one of the better championship runs we've seen in terms of who he beat. He swept Kobe in the Lakers. He took down LeBron in the Big Three. But Joker, man, he just dominates the game in a way we haven't seen a big man dominate in such a long time, so effortlessly. I feel with the run he had last year, he leaps ahead of Giannis in the all-time rankings. And let's be honest, we all know he should have won MVP last year, but Kendrick Perkins had to run his mouth. But this one, Dirk or Joker, I have to go with Nikola Jokic. I think he's clearly the better player. I think if he stopped right now, he would still be a top 15 player of all time. Yes, that. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know what your picks would be. Let me know what you think about this concept. I kept this video short just to kind of get this out there to show you guys what this series would be like, this sub-series, mind you. Let me know what you think, and if you want to see another this or that, make sure to keep it themed. Let me know down in the comment sections or in the Book of Showtime Discord. Inshallah, I will see you in the next chapter.